breaking ankles like some old tops. My rhyme steady going. Please don't ask me if the flow stop. Deep in the pocket like the roof on a drop top. 101 Dalmatians, the way your boy drop dots. Man, hold up, I got you diving when I'm juking. The clips so sick like the smell from when you're pooping. I ain't get down and click the sub button and hit the bell, cause I got a lot more of it. Yeah, who's mains? Terrence House head, who's mains? Batman, Bruce Wayne.
What's goody, what's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy WhosManz. You already know what time it is. Got a new video going, but before we get into that, go ahead, hit that subscribe button and the bell so you never miss an upload. Got a pretty good video coming. Alright, so today I just wanted to go over what y'all seeing going on the screen right now, which is going to be what we call RPOs, read pass options. The reason I'm going to go over this in the preparation for Madden 24 is because I know for a fact that they've added like maybe a couple hundred more offensive plays and defensive plays. You know, just going off of what some of the people I know that have been playing the beta, there are a little bit more RPOs. So I think that good prep is to get on that. Another reason is they've improved the pass catching, so there's not that weird delay when you catch the ball. So when you're throwing those little bubble screens and stuff like that, and you have that leverage advantage, you can take advantage of that. But yeah, man, I think that it's going to be not huge, but I think personally for the people that would say that they're in the sim community or maybe just want to learn football in general, they can definitely use this and go forward with it and improve. And I just wanted to show you guys how to read all of these properly so you can get the most out of each one of these plays. I'm just going to show you guys the basics and move on. So first off, we're going to get into the read option, and yeah, so let's get into it. Alright, so we're going to get into the read option portion first. I'm going to just pick a random play and show you guys how to read this. So in the case that you do come out in this formation, right, you're just like, I'm going to pound the ball down their throats. I usually like to make this a little easier on myself and move that tight end outside. So now you're looking, you have a read key. The read key is the person with the R over their head. How I read this is if they stay put or if they take a step outside away from the play, give it to your running back. If they crash in, then you keep it with your quarterback. So we're going to read this. He crashes in, keep it with the quarterback. We're just going to look at this. You have the read key. He crashes in. Keep it with the quarterback. I'm going to read it again. And he steps out, give it to the running back. Picked up about 6 there. I read it, he steps out. Okay, so now we can go into the RPO read. RPO read is a read pass option with a option read. So that means the quarterback can keep the ball and run with it. He can hand it off and he can throw the ball. There's things that I like to look at. Do we have a numbers advantage with the pass? Do we have a advantage in the run? Too high. We have 2 people sitting out there with anticipation for the pass. On the Wilson Jr. side, that cornerback is close enough to where that hitch might not work. So I don't like this at all. I am going to read this more so like a read option, right? So I'm going to look at my read key. Stays out. I give it to the running back. Pick up my yards. I look at this. To my left, do I have a numbers advantage? No. To my right, do I have a leverage advantage? Yes. So there's a couple of things you can look at with Wilson Jr. That cornerback is backed off. He's running this really quick hitch. It's a lot quicker than you think. The only thing that you have to look at is this defender here. What I look at is if that cornerback, the #1 cornerback over Wilson, if he takes a step back, I usually want to throw that. However, if this player with the M over his head, if he takes a step outside, I'm just not throwing it. So we're going to look. So once again, I don't like any of this. So we're going to look. Here, I see that that cornerback is backed off really far. So once again, I I give it to him. That's 5 yards. Like I said, this takes place of a run. It just gives you that much more options to, quote fingers, run the ball. That's the whole purpose of this, is to establish the run. So we're looking at this. I don't like the advantage for the pass. Hand it off to the running back. Pick up my 5, 6, 7 yards, right? So now this actually makes this a lot easier for you. Your read and your pitch man are so close. If both of them decide to come in, then you can throw to Wilson Jr. So we're gonna read this and make sure. They both come in, you have a numbers advantage. You picked up 5 yards there. Now let's get into the RPO peak. Single high, I usually will move him outside, and basically you are gonna be reading the nickel over top of Gesicki, or the linebacker over Gesicki, nickel, dime, really doesn't matter. If he goes outside, you go inside. If he goes inside, you go outside, right? So we're gonna look, he goes inside, go outside. Now we have 2 high, I keep him inside, nobody's on him. Now you read the cornerback. So cornerback, he's out leveraged, I'm throwing that slant. You just read it. He decides to stay outside, I'm just gonna hand the ball off. Depending on the matchup, I'll throw it to the wide receiver, but Marcus Peters is really good, and I think he is better than that wide receiver, the matchup wise. So in this case, if I see, once again, if I see this guy, if he goes in, I go out. If he goes out, I go in. So he goes out, I go in. And now you're not catching Tyreek Hill. Last but not least, we're going to look at the alerts. A couple different kinds of alerts we can run. I'll run an alert that most people have run. Once again, simple. If he goes in, you go out. If he goes out, you go in. And by in, it means you just let the ball go to Mostert, right? So he goes out, run the ball, go in, pick up our yards. As he go out, he hesitates, throwing it. Then we have this alert. If he's backed off like this, I usually like to throw that slant, but it also depends on either of this guy or this guy. Do they step back? If they come back in, I usually try to throw that slant, especially against single high. They come pressed up and it's double high. I don't know how I like that, but I'm still gonna look. And you see what I mean about double high being a little harder to make that throw or make that read. So anyway, that's just the little basics of RPOs. Read options, RPO peaks, and RPO alerts. Hopefully you guys understood it. Hopefully you have a better understanding of it so you can begin to be more effective with using it. There are some strategic things you can do to make the plays better or when to call them. But I'm not going to get into that right now. Like I said, this is just prep, something to practice before you get into Madden 24. And yeah. Let me know in the comments section below something that you would like to learn. I think I might do a stick work video, or maybe just look into the Eagles playbook, because I think I'm going to try to dive into that. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time, and I will be coming back with some more Sunday sermons. But for now, GITG, give it to God. I'll see you guys next time, man. Peace.